When I was 15 years old, I went to a concert at a club downtown. I was really excited about it. It was this new band that was very popular at the time. Their first single was a huge hit. My friends and I all thought the lead singer was so cute, and we got all dolled up for the show. I remember wanting to look so grown up with my red lipstick and tight jeans. In reality, I was just an innocent 15-year-old girl with very little experience. I was still a virgin and had never engaged in any sexual activity aside from kissing a few boys up to that point. Once we were in the club, we got pretty close to the stage and were enjoying the music. It was very exciting. I remember being approached by a man wearing a lanyard with a backstage pass attached to it. He was a roadie, definitely with the band. He approached me when I was away from my friends. I can't remember why we were separated, but my best guess is that I was heading to the bathroom. The roadie asked if I wanted to go backstage and meet the band, and that their set was almost over. Of course I did. I was so excited as he whisked me away through the crowd to the backstage area. I felt like one of those pretty girls in a music video. You know, the ones who date rock stars and hang out with the band. I'd snuck my mom's camera in and was ecstatic at the thought of getting a picture taken with the lead singer. Within a few minutes, their set was over, and the band was soon in the backstage area. They were very sweaty, and I remember the room felt like a sauna once they'd all crowded in. In no time, the lead singer came over to me, grabbed my hand and said, "Well, hello there." In a very playful way, he looked over me. I couldn't believe it. He was talking to me. He grabbed my hand and led me down a hallway. It was very dark and dingy. There was an old shower stall with a cheap vinyl curtain that reminded me of a locker room in some run-down, dilapidated school. I soon realized that I wasn't headed back to some VIP area with sodas and snacks and to get my autograph and photo. He led me into the shower and pulled the curtain shut on us. From that point on, I froze. I did not know what was going to happen. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was terrified. He put both of his hands on my shoulders and pushed me down to the ground. He pulled his penis out of his shorts and stuffed it into my mouth before I even knew what was happening. I was in shock and completely disgusted. I had never done anything like this before, so I wasn't sure what to expect. All I knew is that I wanted it to end as soon as possible. When he finished, I was horrified. I remember being over the drain as I tried to rid the disgusting mess out of my mouth. He very quickly put himself back together. I reached up for help to stand, mostly because it was so dark, not to mention I was in shock. He didn't help me up. He just said, "Stay the fuck away from me," and walked out. I have never forgotten that. He said it in such a hateful, cruel way, like I was just some piece of trash that he used for his own pleasure, and then discarded when he was done. I had never been treated like that before. The whole situation was extremely shocking and traumatizing. I know I left the backstage area right after that and went and joined my friends. I can't remember if I stopped at the bathroom or what the band was playing next. All I remember is how ashamed I felt. I felt guilty that I had participated in such a disgusting, disgraceful act. I didn't tell a soul, not even the friends I was there with. They'd think I was a slut, and people at school would find out about it. My parents would kill me. They'd see me differently and not love me anymore. I was mortified and so ashamed, and I kept that story to myself for so many years. I only recently told my husband the whole story, and that's because I saw the man on TV, and the memory resurfaced. It's not that I had completely forgotten, but I must have subconsciously pushed it back as to not have to think about it. I still cringe 25 plus years later. I know back then it made me feel like I couldn't trust my parents. I felt like they would blame me for wearing red lipstick and tight jeans and putting myself in that situation. If I had told them what had happened to me, I would have been grounded indefinitely. My dad would have looked at me with such disgust, and that would have completely devastated me. There really was no upside to telling them. So I kept this to myself and struggled with the guilt and shame all on my own. Back then, I didn't see it as an assault or abuse. It's not like I was raped. I didn't yell or scream or even resist. I just froze. I was a terrified kid in a situation way beyond my 15 years, alone in a shower stall with a grown man who knew exactly what he was doing. He was in total control. When I think about this now as a grown woman, I am shocked that this man is still playing with his band and touring. I bet he's done this to countless young girls. I can't be the only one. How has he gotten away with it for so many years? I bet all of those other young girls felt the same way that I did and still do today. That's why I'm not signing my name to this story. I still feel ashamed about it. I wanted my story to be told, though. I don't think many people understand the emotional and psychological damage that occurs to a woman when she is assaulted or abused. It actually changes who we are and erodes our self-worth. It affects our future relationships and ability to trust men. Unfortunately, most of my female friends have struggled with their own version of this story. It is more common than you think. Anonymous.